Welcome everybody to this week's episode of Notorious DMG, where we are running and playing Zweihander.
Woohoo!
Very
We're gonna run
exciting.
these guys through the gauntlet and expose them to some Grim and Perilous. I don't know how Grim and Perilous it's gonna be, but I keep intimidating them by saying that.
Fun
What?
fact, Zweihander is German for 3-footer.
Isn't it giant sword?
No, it's actually two-hander. I was just fucking with you.
Okay, yeah, like giant two-handed sword.
Yeah,
Two-handed
Zwei is 2.
Okay, sorry, I'm putting a title in here. I'll do that after while these guys are talking. So why don't we go ahead and do the roundtable introductions? Let's start with Sandow, aka Bert. Why don't you go ahead and do yourself a little plug for your channel and who you are, and also give us a rundown of your character.
Sure, I am Bert, or BizLab on the various social medias out there. I run the Of Steam, Steel, and Murder podcast, where I'm usually the primary GM, as most of us here are. I am playing Sandow, just the one word, like Madonna. He is an entertainer of noble ancestry, although he's slumming it these days. Oh, he also happens to be an ogre. 8 foot 7 inches tall, but incredibly lean and strikingly handsome, with burnished coppery hair that flows behind him. Roll this up,
Yes.
guys. You can't make this up.
These characters are all random Grim and Perilous method. There is nothing preset or anything about these characters, and that is one of the best parts of this game. Thank you, Bert. Next, let's go to Blort, aka Seth of the Monday Nights.
I am Seth of the Monday Nights. I am the Dungeon Master of the Monday Nights. It's a podcast that is, I would give it like a 2 out of 10 overall, generally. It's pretty funny. We get drunk and play D&D. That's about it. My character today is Blort, the Gnome Doomsayer. He is a very, very poor and very, very melancholy, and I want to say primarily nude man who is in a constant state of self-flagellation and spouting conspiracy theories.
Yeah, I like it. Sounds about right.
He's also
Why do I
fiercely
picture-
ginger.
Why do I picture Mel Gibson?
Ouch. Fierce. That's right. You
It's
guys,
because Blort is racist. I'm not.
Thanks for
You
that
guys all-
clarification.
you guys all rolled distinguishing marks and what else? You guys did some disorders. So
Oh,
There's gonna be
I am branded with a cattle iron and covered in black moles.
that's right.
I can take care of that for you.
Is it Kozel or Kozel? Kozel?
Kozel.
Kozel. Okay.
Okay.
Kozel, aka
Kozel.
Chuck.
Yeah. I am Chuck of the Defenders of Kobold. We stream D&D on Twitch every Friday night, every Tuesday. Not every Tuesday. Every couple of Tuesdays. We do a really shitty job at it, but we like to pretend that we're really good. And it's, overall fantastic. You should check us out. That's Defenders of Kobold. Today, I am going to be playing Kozel. He is an old man who grew up living in the forest, and he just fucking loves mushrooms, man. He's just, a good old forest hippie, high as a fucking kite. And, he's just, everything's really cool, man. Like, no need to get worked up. Like, nature provides, and, like, let's just have some tea and have a great time. Yeah, Kozel. I'm going to be trying to feed all of you mushrooms, and I strongly suggest that you partake.
Yeah, please do, because then we get to put some conditions and stuff on you guys for being intoxicated or whatever under the influence. Last but not least, Waldo Lannis. I said I'm just going to call you Wald or Waldo. Why don't I call you Waldo?
I am Waldo.
And I found you, aka Steven, the DM.
Hello, everyone. I'm Steven, the DM. I am playing Waldo Lannis. Waldo is a barber surgeon, so he can give you a shave as he amputates your leg. I will take care of all those moles for you. Just let me grab my saw. And I am a halfling with somewhat reddish hair and a snowblind eye. I got a cataract. As for myself, I am Steven the DM, and I make YouTube videos, usually about making combat interesting, using mechanics to the best of your ability, and how to tactically run monsters.
Yeah, it's good stuff. I also have, just to add on to this, I have character cards on my stream right now that have links to your Twitters and your various channels, be it YouTube or your podcasts or whatever. So if anybody interested in checking out these guys' content, feel free. It's down below. Oh, and I'm Matt. I run Jazam's Den, and we're doing some Zweihander.
Who's your
Okay.
character?
The Game Master.
Did you have to roll randomly for that one too?
No, but that
Yeah,
would be something
You have
interesting.
warts or like an eye patch?
I have a sixth toe.
I really hope you keep that vague and keep us wondering.
I'm just curious what happened to the other 4.
On one, 6 on 1 foot.
You goddamn asshole.
All right. So why don't we set the stage on how you guys kind of know each other and why you're together? I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Sandow, you are a an heir to a fortune tied to a candy business. Is that correct?
Sweet treats, yes. The family has an extensive business. Got in with a bunch of halflings early on, got into the sweet meat and confectionery business, and we have an outlet in every major city and town. I try not to play that up too much, though, trying to distance myself from the relative.
That's right. And you're an entertainer.
They don't understand my art.
What sort of entertainment do you do, Sandow?
Actually, he's a storyteller. He does have an instrument. It is it's an acoustic bass, scaled to him, so it's like 8 feet tall.
Right. Okay. And this is your entourage. I dubbed them on Twitter as your physician, your pharmacist, and your guru. I
And
don't
we
know.
still don't know which ones we are.
Yeah,
It's-
right.
It's a mystery, man.
You're just kind of slumming it with these guys, and they've latched onto you because these guys, they're is it wrong to say you're attracted to the money?
I mean, I can't disagree.
And the groupies.
And the groupies. He is a ravishing ogre. Okay, well, you guys have been traveling in the countryside. You've been traveling for a few days in this region, and you've come upon a small riverport town of Swansea. The clouds have parted, and typically gray sky has made way to a bright, beaming sun. You squint with disdain as your eyes are assaulted by the sunshine. The town is currently a flurry of activity with people coming and going as preparations for a wedding are in full swing. Flowers and decorations hang between buildings and adorn every house. Typically, when entering a new town, you've been watched, scrutinized, or even chased away, but given the current state of affairs, you can only assume you've been mistaken as out-of-town guests. People smile and nod as you entered the town, and you made your way to the nearest watering hole as usual. You've been posted up in the local tavern, the Bloated Boar, drinking and listening into the local chatter. You've gleaned from the locals that the couple set to wed are Maximilian Steger and Helena Rafke. As you're sitting there in the Bloated Boar, suddenly cheers can be heard from outside the tavern, and the others sitting at the tables hop up and head outside. You make your way through the door and join the mob gathering all around. Women are walking up and down the crowds, handing out flowers, while men pass out the odd brass penny. Cheers erupt, and you see standing at opposite ends of the road a clearly pregnant woman in a wedding dress and a man in a fine suit. They make their way towards one another until they meet in front of the temple of the God Emperor. After what seems like forever, the couple burst through the temple to a torrent of cheers. Someone in the crowd shouts, "Time for celebrations to begin!" And a crowd of men lock eyes with the group of you and wander over. these men come over and they put their arms around you and they offer you some free ale, and one of them gets up nice and close to you, Kozel, and goes, time for a game, lads. Let's see what you got.
Yeah, man. Like, I played a game once.
Yeah? Yeah, well, if you're gonna play the game, you gotta drink first. And they all take their tankards and they start just downing it.
I presume that this is a ploy on their part.
Hey, man. Like, you just gotta go with things, and I'll drink my tankard.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I perform best when drunk, so I am happy to take the drink. Is it a pint or a half pint? Because I am a little.
It is a pint.
weakling.
Yeah, yeah. This is a big sip for you, Waldo.
I'll do my best to down it.
Stan now is doing his usual hobnobbing through the crowd, being his charming self, really trying to pick up what's going on. Who are these two people? What's the significance? That sort of thing.
Right. So yes, these men down their drinks, and as soon as you all down yours, they someone shows up. One of their friends shows up with more glasses held around all of his arms, and he starts passing them out to everyone. Again, let's drink, let's drink. We'll play a game to celebrate the happy couple.
All right, man. I'll drink, but like last time I played a game, like we were all like hiding nuts in the forest, and it was great until the squirrels got involved.
Just a squirrel looking to get his nut.
Yeah, man. That shit was nuts.
But hey, they slam back their tankards, and with that, everybody who's standing there kind of engaged with them. Why don't you go ahead and make me a challenging awareness test? So you should be able to set the difficulty on your character sheet along the top there. It says difficulty rating chart.
Right.
I'm
Set
assuming
standard.
you want challenging.
Yeah, click on challenging, and then go ahead and click on awareness under your skill.
Any situational modifiers?
Negative.
Which one are we doing again?
Awareness, challenging.
Oh,
I'm
shit.
guessing an 8 is not a good roll.
No, so this is a roll under game. Ho ho ho! Wow, Blort. So you want to roll under your. So see how there's
okay.
an 8 and then a 30. So you succeeded. Wow, Kozel matched. So everybody succeeded, but Blort had a critical success. Very good. Doubles are also crits in this. So like a double on a failure or a double on a success is also going to give you a critical. So there's lots of chances for crits. So you guys are all kind of like, oh, these guys are really nice. This is really cool of them. They're really welcoming to a bunch of weirdos like us. And Blort, you were already apprehensive about this, and you take a look at one of these guys, and he just swings it back, and he gets it all over himself. And you look closely, and you're like, this isn't what we're drinking. This isn't the same color. And they're clearly drinking water while they're feeding you drinks.
Gentlemen, as I said before, this is a ploy. These hooligans are consuming regular water in front of us and begging us to drink this strange brew they have provided for free.
I mean, it's a free brew, so
I mean,
what's the problem?
It doesn't cost anything to die.
To die.
What's in this? What's in this?
I want to pick up the tankard they handed to me and just
Yeah.
dump it on one of their heads.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, go. You just pour it on his head, and the one guy, he raises his fists, whose head you poured it over, and his buddies they hold him back, and then the two guys holding the guy back go, oh, hey, listen. We were just testing you. Listen, we weren't kidding about playing a game. I'll tell you what. You guys interested? It's a little game called Chase the Bride. We do a little foot race. You pair up with one of the local ladies here, and the winner is married to the girl until dawn of the next day. And you know, when you're married, nothing's taboo.
I mean, it sounds fun to me.
Hey, man, I can't play that game. I have a strict policy of not running unless something's chasing me.
I'll play for him. I'll take 2 turns.
I'll play for that guy.
So
Okay.
to be clear, Sandow hasn't been drinking. He's just going through the bar and talking to various
Sh-
people.
Okay. Okay, let's jump over to Sando. So you're making your way through the crowd and engaging with people.
Right. So I'm trying to find out what's going on with the marriage. Like, why is it such a big deal? Who these people are? What's their family status?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I may know their families if they're in the same tier.
You may.
So is that what rumor is for? Hobnobbing and gathering intelligence?
Well, I'll tell you what. People are talking. People are drinking. People are talking. So I will let you make a standard awareness test. The booze is freely flowing. Someone is paying for it here in this wedding. Um,
Yeah, it is.
and there are loose lips. So not everybody's happy for others'
Okay.
fortune, right?
So do you want me to roll again? I'd already rolled at a hard. I can re-roll if you want. Either way, it
No,
was a
let's take
success.
your existing roll. I'm okay with that. So you're hearing some chitter chatter as you're walking around, and people are looking up at you. They're kind of like in awe, like they don't see an ogre come through these parts very often. But you're a very well groomed and put
And
together
ever so
ogre,
stylish.
and I think the odd person kind of recognizes you, and you can see them like whisper and kind of nudge the other one and point to you because your face is somewhat famous in this land, is it not, Sandow? Your
It
baby,
is.
your
It
baby
is.
face, at least.
As adorned many of a package of sweetmeats.
That's right. So you over here, um, that this is a brokered business deal between the bride's father, Franz Rafke, and the groom, the bridegroom, Maximilian Steger. And this whole thing has been arranged to create a male heir to take over the business. You've heard that Hans actually has a very lucrative, or not Hans, Hans and Franz. Franz has a very lucrative hemp business that's popped up recently. And Maximilian is from the neighboring town of Vorburg. And he's from a quite well-to-do and wealthy family. So this is a merging of the two families to produce an heir.
All right. Do I know anything about the family's fortunes? Is it being done this way because one family is starting to go down in standing, that sort of thing?
There's not really talk of that. It's more from what you've gleaned from the crowd. It's people are a little jealous because to them, the bride Helena is they're seeing it as moving on up. This is a tiny little hamlet or village. There's not a lot to it, and she's moving over to the next village, which is there's a lot there. They actually have a wall. They have a around it and guards, and this place is just kind of a dump along the road. So she's marrying off to wealth and um, possibly building this empire between the two families. So there's a lot of resentment.
Okay. Interesting. Note that. Um, since there is resentment, kind of keeping an eye out for anyone who seems to be, not really enjoying the festivities, like looking a bit grim and perhaps plotting in a dark corner somewhere.
Um, yeah, let's jump back to that. We'll jump back to the others, and we'll come back to you guys. Yes, Waldo, you are enjoying the festivities. So we'll jump back to these guys, who they're holding back. They have a good laugh. Well, we're just taking the piss out of you. Like we said, we just want to play a game, and you could be married to a local girl for a night, and there's no shame in anything that happens. From sundown to sun up when you're married. What do you fellas say?
That sounds
I
worse than the apocalypse.
I'm scanning the room with my one good eye. How do the locals look?
They're average looking folk. You've got some, let's say, a little bit of beer goggles on, so everybody's looking a little bit better to you at this point. Nobody really stands out. There is kind of a brash woman pushes her way through the men and starts looking the three of you up and down. Who's the biggest, the burliest, the largest of the three of you who are still there?
I'm a
Not-
halfling.
I am very skinny and old.
And Blort is a gnome.
Yeah.
I am also.
Wow, we are a
certain that-
motley crew for sure.
I love it. So she looks over the three of you, very unimpressed, and she crosses her arms and, I guess you'll do. And she points at Kozel. You are going to be my partner for the race.
Hey, man, like, I don't run so good, man.
You will carry me on your back, and we will win the race.
Oh, we're gonna die, man.
Wait, we have to carry you. I thought we
yeah,
were
yeah.
chasing you.
No, the guys all start to laugh and they pipe in. They go, "Oh yeah, that's the thing is, you got to carry the woman on your back. She'll have an armful of turnips that she can throw at the other racers to try and slow them down. But you need to be the first to carry her across the finish line on your back and or on your shoulders, and then you'll be married for the night. What do you say, fellas?"
Man, I thought we were supposed to chase him. I was looking for a fat one.
I think
Blort laughs in character.
I have a picture of Molly here. Where's unimpressed Molly?
Hey, man, can I just have some of those turnips? Those things are
There
good.
she is. Molly Bussman. Bump. She's the one, so she's in your face there. Going, you're gonna carry me on your shoulders and we're gonna win.
I'll try, man, but I think we're gonna have a real bad time. Like, if you want, like, we could just go find a nice tree and, like, have some tea or something.
She scoffs, she goes, none of these will do. Where did the big one go? And she stumps off.
We are so badass.
Man, this is like height discrimination.
Yeah, man, that wasn't cool how she treated you guys. And she didn't even want my tea.
Imagine our standard operating procedure when we come to a new town is like we kind of go separate so that you're not seen to be part of my entertainment, and then I make the money, and then we go and have fun afterwards.
Yeah, right.
I'm trying to have fun right now. I don't know what you're talking about.
So
Hey, if you want to have fun, man, we can go have some tea.
the men all just laugh when Molly storms away, and they laugh at the group of you and go, "Ah, forget it." And they they take off. They disperse. And,
Wait. Do you got any short girls?
They look back at you and ask that, and they laugh in unison. And they walk away, arm in arm.
They're
I
so
need another
rude
drink
here.
after that.
Yeah, man.
The alcohol is free flowing. There is no stop to it. People are just handing out drinks everywhere.
There is no end to my belly either.
Yeah, that we never talked about this, but that will gain you corruption, Waldo. Not yet, but we will as the night goes on. You'll gain corruption for your gluttony, for your sins. Let's jump back to Sandow. Sandow, you are kind of milling around the crowd. You're much like your picture of your character, where you've got your nose up in the air and you're looking down at these folks as they're partying. And one particular man, let me see, do I have a picture of him? I do. This, oh, show to players. This just ragged looking angry man seems to be passing amongst the crowd. You see him go over to the father of the bride, and you see him run over to the groom, and you see him run over to other folks, and you see go over to the owner of the tavern and things like that. And it looks like he's running errands, and you see him just passing around through the crowd all over the place. He's just buzzing around. It looks like he's passing messages, performing menial tasks and services. And he also seems to be carrying some rather important looking documents in his hand, sealed and with a wax seal on it.
All right, is he wearing anyone's particular livery, like like servants will often wear the colors of their masters, or actually have the family crest on their wardrobe somewhere?
Yeah, he actually is wearing colors that appear to be similar to the bride's father, Franz. I keep wanting to call him Hans. Franz or Rafki.
All right. So there's a wedding going on. So I guess what I'm trying to do is to insinuate myself in to get a job entertaining, perhaps, for whatever festivities might be going on. Um, and since my trade is storycraft, trying to find out as much as I can about the families, trying to craft a story in my head while I'm going.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, doing the information gathering right now and trying to find out where might I be able to ply my trade later for some coin.
Yeah, for sure. No, you can, because there's already people staring at you and kind of a little bit of recognition, and you stand out. It's not hard for you to gather a crowd. You could find a couple of barrels and put them together and stand up on there, and
Yeah,
people
so I'll
start
make a
milling
show
around
of
you.
like starting to put together a tale as people tell me a little bit of information about the bride and the groom, and I'll sit there and tune my instrument and do some
Mm-hmm.
trial lines of what I'm hearing.
Sure. Yeah. So you're hearing a lot more of the same thing in regards to the families and uniting and this being done for money, and they think that Maximilian is trying to get in on France's lucrative hemp business that has popped up recently.
Okay, yeah, good enough. So I'm working with all that. Obviously, the
Hmm.
town seems to be feeling a bit of sour grapes over it. So I'm gonna have to have two storylines: one to play in
Yeah.
town and one to play in front of other guests.
Yes. Yes. So let's jump over to the other guys. What you can see the crowd gathering, and you see the race going on with men putting women up on their shoulders and racing to the end of a line while the women are hurling turnips at the others, and people are getting tripped up and falling over, and the crowd's going crazy, and the drinks are being passed around.
I'm getting drunk enough that I'm willing to offer free medical services now.
Okay.
I'm gonna pick up some of those turnips, man.
Would you mind, Waldo, taking a look at some of these boils?
Oh yeah, I can pop those. I can pop those easy.
No popping is necessary. I was just hoping you could gaze upon them.
I mean, yeah, I can pop those. I can pop those easy.
No, you see, you don't understand.
Hey,
Right.
man, I can look at those too. I'm not so bad at like health stuff.
No, what I'm asking is for you to just look at them.
Yeah, man, I don't want to touch that. It's gross.
That is
Just
ideal, thank you.
just take some of these mushrooms, man. It'll clear up.
How much mushrooms do you have?
You want to get rid of boils, you got to cut them off.
I could make it in a tea for you, man.
What quantity of mushrooms is available to Blort currently?
Kozel, what do you have?
I'll dig in my little leather pouch, rummage around there for a few minutes. I don't know. I think I would have a wealthy supply as I collect them fervently. I'll pull out
Blort
a
is like, hey, are we talking like an eighth, like a half ounce? Like, what do you?
man. Like I didn't do so good in math class, man. And I'll just pull out like a dried cap and hand it to you.
Thank you. And I consume it, and I take note of where he keeps the mushrooms on his.
You guys have been traveling together for quite some time. You know where he keeps the mushrooms on his person.
That is good news for Blort.
I'm beginning to feel like I'm debt ridden because I keep having to bail these guys out of jail.
Yeah, right. These friends that you have chosen.
Waldo, do you want one, man?
I ain't taking any of your voodoo crap.
Give his
If I got something, I'll cut it off.
As you guys are talking, all of a sudden you realize there's someone standing behind you, and an arm is thrown around you, Blort, and Kozel. And I know there's height difference there. And you turn
Your
and look.
arms are abnormally long, whoever you are.
You turn and look. It's the bridegroom, Maximilian Steger. Oh, hello, he says. Welcome to my wedding. I'm glad to have you. Which side are you? You're not here for me, are you?
No. I'm the bride's sister's brother's aunt's cousin by marriage.
Am I under his right arm or his left arm?
You're under his right arm.
Man, I think I'm on the left side.
My name is Blort. How are you doing on this fine evening, the day of your being wed to the other young...
Blort, he grabs your hand and clasps it in both of his and gives you a sturdy handshake. Blort, I am so happy to have you here today. Thank you for joining me on my wedding day. Here, I'll show you a picture of Maximilian.
When he says he's so happy to see me, I mutter that I am entirely indifferent to his existence.
He kind of ignores that and he turns to you, Waldo, and he goes, "Hey, your large friend. Where is he? I saw him wandering around here. Where do you know where he's at?"
Oh, you mean the guy with the mushrooms? He's right here.
No, the large ogre friend of yours.
He is on one of the
yeah.
planes of this doomed planet.
Are you whipping yourself?
I mean, I suppose that's right.
Yeah, this whole time I've just been whipping the absolute fuck out of my back.
Just dripping blood everywhere you go.
Like when he wrapped his arm around my shoulders, I was whipping his arm also.
Oh, I love that. He goes,
I mean, I suppose he's trying to sell some of that sweet meat to the bride. He does that.
Oh, I'm gonna keep looking for him. I had something I wanted to discuss with him. You work for him?
I mean, it's more of a partnership. You know, like he gives us money every now and then.
Really, he works for me.
I don't have a job, man.
Okay. And with that, he you see all of a sudden his attention turns off to the distance, and you guys look and follow his gaze, and you see Sandow standing on top of some barrels, just towering over the crowd, and doing one of his performances, which you've seen many, many times, and I'm sure you roll your eyes at. He's up to it again.
Roll my eye.
Your eye, yeah. And you see Sandow putting on a
very well.
performance, and the crowd is just like hanging off every word at this point. And he goes, "Oh, there he is! I'm gonna go over there and say hi and take in the show.
Hang on, man.
Can I interest you fellas in some of the good stuff? I have some very good spirits put aside, and why don't you be my personal guests and come join me?"
I'm
I say
always down for the good
Existence
stuff.
is pain, and life is a futile effort against the ending of all time and the darkening of the sky and the coming of the red arrow in the dawn.
I mean, I'm all for more alcohol.
Okay. You see him put a hand up and motion to one of the servants scuttling about, and does a little hand gesture. Next thing you know, you're brought over these glasses, and you take a sniff, and this is some expensive alcohol that he is giving you. This is quote unquote the good stuff.
Man,
He goes,
that's nice.
"Yeah, yes, please partake. Let's go see your friend. Let me ask, is that?" And he says, kind of lowly and kind of embarrassed, "Is that Sandow?"
No,
Would you
man.
pour
I'm
me a
Kozel.
shot of this fancy booze?
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Oh, never mind. I'm sorry. I was mistaken. Let's go see your friend. And he walks over there and invites the rest of you to come on over and join him. Sandow, you are up on the barrels, playing to the crowd. Why don't
Sure,
you
I'm
go-
working in the races now, peering out the window, seeing who's winning, and just kind of making up a little skit about the racing going on.
Right. Why don't we do? Well, we don't have like a performance or something we can make you do we?
Yeah, I was thinking really what I'm trying to do is just to charm the crowd and just
Yeah.
to,
Well, make me. I want you to make me a routine charm roll.
Okay. Am I of a higher social class than the people I'm playing to?
You sure are.
All right. One of my talents can be a plus 20 bonus then.
So this will be
Jesus.
at a plus 30 then, and Yeah, that's the maximum. So yeah, let's do this. These
What
people are
difficulty?
these people are all of lower standing than you. Because it's a plus 30, just go ahead and do it at trivial, because that'll give you your plus 30 to your roll. It was a routine and you get a plus 20, right?
Okay, so mark trivial at the top, but then don't put a modifier in the box, or do?
Correct. Yeah, we'll just do it that way. Don't put a modifier in there. It'll give you the same result.
All right, I don't think that fired. Let me try that again.
Nope.
There we go.
Yeah, so you nail it. You know, you have to roll under 91. It's not hard. Um, so the crowd is just hanging off your every word, and they're just totally into it. They've stopped doing any celebrations with regards to this wedding. You can tell they're just totally engrossed in your performance, whatever it is you're doing. And as Maximilian, the bridegroom himself, starts making his way over, people kind of snap out of it a little bit. Oh, and they kind of scuttle away and go back to the festivities. And he pats them on the back. No, enjoy.
Right in the middle of my ode to the marvelous turnips that are such daunting missile weapons in this competition.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, you've actually pulled away most of the crowd from the race itself. Just a few people watching. And yeah, Maximilian, you see him make his way over with your companions, and he starts just clapping the loudest, and it kind of snaps everybody out, and they look and they all join in. He goes, oh, here, please come down, have a drink with us.
I take my bows. Thank you.
Marvelous. I never dreamed of such entertainment at my wedding.
Tip your bartenders.
And he when you come down, you make your way over to them. He hands you some of this very fine spirits that he's given the others, and he goes, what brings you to town here?
Well, I am traveling with my retinue,
Swansea's,
testing new vistas for the family, seeing what towns might well benefit from our sweetmeat trades, and to practice my art.
He's just kind of like hanging off every word. He's genuinely interested in what you're saying. This is Swansea is such off the beaten track. I'm surprised that you're here, but I'm honored. And someone of your standing, I'm just I couldn't.
I whisper to the other two, he never poured me my liqueur.
Actually, did you guys follow? Because what I'm asking is everyone
No.
around, or are you guys still back?
No, I followed.
I'm assuming we followed. I
Okay.
followed.
Well, then one of the things you know is that Sandow doesn't drink. So, but to be polite, what he does is he mock sips from the glass, and then he hands it off to one of you guys.
Blort, do you want to put your cat of nine tails down for a moment, or you stayed behind? You're just sitting there by yourself, whipping yourself.
Well, I cease whipping myself, and when he pours me a shot, I do that thing where people like fake throw it over their shoulder to drink it, but directly down onto my open wounds.
Oh, oh! And that just
I scream in pain.
And that just brings you to a whole nother plane, doesn't it? This is what you live for.
Yeah, I see God. It's like a DMT trip for me. Especially after taking that mushroom. Like, yeah, it's nice over here.
Well, it was a happy coincidence that we came upon your town during such a festive occasion. I'm sad to say that the news of your nuptials is not what brought me here, but I am glad that I'm here on this day.
As am I. I'll tell you what. You and your friends, you can sit at one of the guests of honor table. You don't have to sit here with and he kind of leans in, the locals. Please come with me. And he starts motioning.
I'm like,
for all of you.
I'm a local.
Is Blort from here?
Yes.
Blort is local to wherever he trips.
Yeah, Blort is like in a constant state of delusion where every place that he goes is his hometown that he hasn't seen in like 30 plus years.
We're all used to this.
Yeah, this is nothing unusual for the rest of you. This is your guru that you chose to take with you.
We stopped taking his recommendations for inns and places to eat months ago. We just stopped.
I mean,
You
I only
should
keep him
try.
along to tell people not to listen to him.
He makes the rest of you guys seem normal. And feel
Oh,
normal.
certainly. Carry on. Let us get to the.
Yeah, so
My,
the crowd parts. Sorry, go ahead, Blort.
I was just gonna say my primary role in the team is as comic relief, as it were.
As you're
Because everyone
bleeding.
thinks it's so funny that the rapture will be here momentarily.
You say this as you're curled up in a pool of your own blood in the ground, withering in pain.
I feel no pain.
Oh, Blort, you're great. So he parts the crowd and he makes, and there's tables, long tables set up everywhere, and people are starting to sit down and take their places for the feast that's about to. And he shows you to one of the tables near the front, near the bride and groom's table. And he goes, here. You are honored guests. I am so happy that you are here. Please sit here at this table. And he kind of shoos away some other folks and makes room for the four of you.
Well, their lives were just as meaningless as ours, guys. Am I right?
Welcome to Grim and Perilous. These people mean nothing to the wealthy. So yeah, so the festivities begin, and they start bringing out the courses, and you guys are being fed very well, and the party continues. People are milling about. You pick up Sandow on that gentleman who's running around frantically. You see him go over to the father of the bride, and they're talking quite furiously, and he's just clutching that document that he had, and then he's kind of like the father of the bride just kind of like hits him and sends him away, like hits him over the back of the head with his hand, and the guy's kind of pissy, and he seems to turn around and kind of mouth back at this guy, but under his breath, and he starts to go back onto task, and then he sees a table with an empty spot and some glasses, and he kind of goes over and he starts sneaking some sips of alcohol like nobody's looking, and then he continues on in his duties and starts making his way through the crowd and talking to people and delivering things as it would appear.
Sure. Something I'm keeping an eye out for is like, how do people react to what they're being told or given? Like watching the next person he approaches, or watch the expression on that person's face.
Yeah. For the most part, people are pretty indifferent. Like you'll see them like nod and this and that, but the odd person that he goes up to, you'll see him like whisper something in their ear, and he'll point at this document that he's got, and then they'll kind of scoff and throw their heads and shake their heads in disgust. And then he'll go about, and you keep watching, and he keeps kind of sneaking drinks wherever he can.
Okay.
Speaking
and
of,
he's wearing the colors of the groom, correct?
no, I'm sorry, the bride's father.
Bride. Okay.
Are you guys still drinking? Are you taking in the free booze?
Oh, I am imbibing like crazy.
Yeah. Sandow doesn't drink, just pretends to. He'll lift his cup to his lips every now and then.
And that's why I'm here, to help out.
So, Waldo, I'm going to get you to make me a routine toughness test. Okay, so you pass. So you're drinking, you're having a good time, but it's not hitting you really that. Yeah, this is, you've done this before. Anybody else?
A standard night for me.
Yes, exactly. Usually you're having to pay for this, but not tonight.
Usually Sandow's having to pay for this.
That's true. This is on Sandow's buck, usually on his gold. Seeing as how the rest of you are just completely poor and broke.
I have never even seen a gold piece.
Which is probably true.
I'm slowing down on the drinks, man. I'm kind of a lightweight. Maybe if I can get like a cup of water, I'll put some of my dried dandelion heads from my pouch into it. Have a nice little tea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
do you guys have a chill out tent anywhere?
You guys have rooms at the local tavern? Because you've been here for a day or two, kind of leading
Well,
up to
my
this.
room is the chill out tent. Everybody, follow me, and I go to it.
You just up and leave to the chill out tent, to your room.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Blort
Yeah.
needs to sleep.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, so Blort just kind of ups and leaves, which is kind of normal for
I feel bad
Blort.
for whoever has to like clean my bed sheets after I've slept in a place.
Yeah, because they're just gonna be soaked in blood.
They just burn it, man.
It's just easier to get rid of the demons that way. So the night goes on. Um, things are carrying on. You do notice also the bride and the groom don't interact too much. Just sitting at the table together. The bride, who I said she is clearly pregnant, um, and much younger than the groom himself. Little interaction. She looks, when you look at her, she looks kind of distant, sad, not really enjoying the party. While you were going around and hearing rumors and things like that, Sandow, you did pick up that it's not uncommon in this region for the bride to be pregnant at the time of the wedding, um, because they like to know that the bride is fertile before committing. So this is not an uncommon thing here in this region.
And they have those chases where anything goes.
Anything goes. Hey, there's no shame, right?
Yeah, I
From
mean,
sundown
again,
to sun up.
continue just to do the social grace thing, work my way through the crowd, talk to everyone I can. I will politely inquire to someone who has gotten a message from that squirrely looking guy who he is.
Yeah, you just want to kind of lean over to someone at the table next to you.
Yeah, just kind of politely mention, I noticed that furtive young man there is seeming to be handing documents and speaking to many people. He
Yeah,
wears the color of the bride, I see.
The guy kind of leans over and he's squinting. He's had quite a few drinks. What? Who?
That man there, the one with the weaselly face.
Lutz? Yeah, he's a weasel. You nailed that one there, pal. What do you want to know about Lutz?
What's he doing? He seems to be talking to so many people.
Oh, well, he's Franz's errand boy. He works for him. He just does menial tasks. I don't know. It's just Lutzy. What do you want to know about him?
Well, he seems to be doing business at such a festive occasion.
Well,
Seems to be a little.
Franz, he's become quite a businessman here with this little transaction that's taking place with his daughter. So it doesn't surprise me. And he's kind of turns back and keeps drinking at his. He's trying to get away from you as you're talking to him. He wants to go back to drinking.
Sure. Actually, I hand him my glass and motion for another.
Hey, thanks. Yeah, thanks. Who are you again?
Sandow. Here to entertain the guests.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. Thanks for the drink, pal.
Yeah, I'm Waldo.
Hey, Waldo.
If you got anything you need cut off, like a boil or a mole or an ingrown hair or an ingrown toenail,
he holds up his
or a beard.
His finger. I got this hangnail here. It's just been bothering me like crazy. What are you gonna do for this?
My eye lights up.
Your
I can take care of that.
Your eye lights up and your bone saw comes up its bag.
Yeah, exactly. I'm pulling out my bone saw. I'm like, all right. Have you been drinking?
He looks down the glass and up at you. No, I haven't. Why?
You need a drink for what's gonna happen. All right, someone, bring him a shot.
Hey man, I got you. And I'll pull out one of my mushrooms. Like,
No, you don't want that. You don't want that. That'll kill you. That's bad for your health.
man, it's natural. Like, I got it from a field.
You know what? We don't need the drink. We'll just go ahead and do this. Just put your hand out on the table and put your thumb really far out for me. Like spread it really far, as far as you can.
Yeah. He looks at you and he looks at the blade and he looks at the drink and he looks at his hangnail and he looks at the blade at the saw.
I'm aiming the blade like towards like getting ready. I'm practicing the motion.
He goes, No, no, no. I'm good. I'm good. Thanks.
Oh, no, you won't feel a thing.
He starts getting up and he's trying to like break away from me. No, no, I'm good. Thanks, Valdo. It's good to meet you.
I mean, you're kind of hurting my feelings now. I can help you.
Yeah, yeah. No, no. It's hey, I think I hear my wife calling me. I got Valdo. It was great meeting you. I'll see you around Swansea. And he just kind of like breaks away and takes off.
Man, you can't help some people.
Yeah, man. I hope that doesn't get infected.
Oh, it will. It'll be bad. He's gonna die from that.
Yeah, man. That's not cool.
So while you guys are sitting there, the party's going on, but nearby, over from behind some buildings, you can hear some raised voices, and you can hear some shouting, but you can't really make out what's being said over the murmur of the crowd. But there's definitely some sort of altercation or argument going on nearby.
Man, it doesn't sound like someone's having a good time. Maybe I should go give them some of my tea.
Yeah, do you want to go over there and offer them some tea to mellow them out?
Yeah, man. I get up and I start meandering that direction while rummaging through my pouch and crumbling up some caps into my cup of water.
Sure, sure, sure. Yeah, you make your way over, and you round a corner, and you can see the groom and the father of the groom, father of the bride. Sorry, the groom and the father of the bride, Franz and Maximilian, who you met earlier, in a heated argument. They have not noticed you there. Do you want to just kind of jump in, or do you want to just kind of observe what's going on?
I'll hang on for a second and while I'm trying to figure out which one I need to offer a drink to first.
Sure. Why don't you go ahead and make me a standard eavesdrop test?
And eavesdrop. Bam.
Oh, critical success.
Yeah, man.
Doubles. Yeah, so you're sitting there. You can hear this clearly. You got a great vantage point. You're nice and clear, but they don't realize you're there. Franz, the father of the bride, is clearly drunk, just extremely intoxicated, and he is just like screaming and pointing at Maximilian, and just like spittle coming out of his mouth, and he's blaming me. He goes, "You, where is the dowry that you promised me for my daughter? You, Maximilian, I could have given that girl to any respectable businessman. But you promised me the best prospects, and now you don't deliver? What are you going to do about that? Well, we call this all off. All my friends warn me not to deal with an uppity peasant like Maximilian Steger, he says, all staggering about and stuttering and just completely juiced out of his mind.
Okay. I'll walk up to him. Like, man, like, it's cool, man. Like, here, have this. It'll chill you out.
They both like turn around, they're shocked. And Maximilian, he has a smile on his face. He goes, "Oh, it's one of my guests. Franz, come here, Franz. It's okay. Come here. Don't spoil this happy day for your daughter, okay?"
Yeah, man, like, this is the coolest birthday party I've ever seen.
Why don't you go ahead and make me a standard scrutinized test, Kozel.
All right. What is scrutinize under? Perception.
Scrutiny.
There we go.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you don't. You're like, yeah, come on, let's just mellow out, guys. Let's chill out.
Just everything's cool, man.
So this has now triggered a social event.
Ooh.
Fancy.
Yeah, this is gonna happen. Unfortunately, so usually the whole gang gets to come in and contribute to this. Unfortunately, it's just Kozel over there who's all shrugged up and flying high in mushrooms, who's going to be doing this by himself.
Yeah, this is gonna go great.
So the way
Would
this
it be
works,
too metagamey of me to return from my slumber for the social encounter?
to just show up beating yourself, Kozel, I heard
I don't
you
have to
needed
be
some
beating
assistance.
myself. It's not like 24 hours a day.
Yeah,
Just 23.
Kozel, I was sleeping and heard you needed my assistance.
Yes, I detected social awkwardness, and these shrooms have not worn off, so here I am.
Why don't we why don't you guys, if you guys all want, you can get in on this. It's a learning game. If we want to get in on the little social intrigue, I don't mind.
Yeah,
It's
guys.
I mean,
not
if they
gonna
don't have alcohol over there, I probably wouldn't go over.
it's not gonna make or break the game. I don't mind. It's all in good fun. So this is what's known as a simple exchange. So depending on the social status between you and the NPC, it's going to give you pluses and minuses to your roll. And what you need to do is that you need to choose a social tactic that you're going into like how you're going to approach this NPC. You have to choose from either bargain, charm, guile, interrogation, intimidate, leadership, or rumor. And depending on what you choose is how they're going to handle the way you approach them. So basically it's all the things under fellowship. You have to choose one of the fellowship skills, and that's how you're going to approach this NPC in how you're going to ask questions or handle the social encounter.
Hey,
So it's always a good idea for everybody to choose a different approach, typically, because some things will set them off and trigger negative reactions from them, and others are going to be the key, the right answer to getting what you want out of them.
the only fellowship skill I have is handle animal. Can I just use that?
That is that unfortunately is not one of the options, but would be hilarious.
I'm gonna go with leadership, man. Just try to lead them to a calm place, man.
The way,
Go ahead.
so the way this also works is so each of you choose a skill that you want to apply to the situation, and you also beforehand you need to discuss with each other. Right now, it's kind of like we stop the action and we step back, and you guys discuss what you want to accomplish and the risks associated with what you want to accomplish. Like, what do you want to ask these guys? You basically determine beforehand, and then we make these rolls based off the skills that you're going to use, and it plays out from there. So you're kind of like programming what you want to ask them, and then we're going to determine the answers you get.
Man, I just want to go with like everyone just be cool. It'll all work out on the end. No need to get, too riled up.
I wish to understand the deepest dark of his mind.
So you're trying to charm them, I'd say, Kozel, and Blort is what? Guile? I don't know.
There is no way to conceptualize my needs.
Yes.
Having heard the commotion out there, and then it suddenly quiet down and stop with who was it that wandered over there originally? I'm sorry, still
It was
Kozel. I did.
Kozel.
Yeah.
Kozel. Okay, so and the abrupt stopping as Kozel wandered out has me a bit worried. So I will step out and see what's going on. And so seeing the situation here, I would like to use. So rumor is used to gather information and talking to people one on one, or even better as a group. So I would
Yep.
kind of like to feel out what is the manner of the issue they're having. Like what is the like be an arbiter is what I want to do. It's like, okay, so you have basically a business problem here. One side has promised one thing, the other side hasn't delivered. Try to work out what the issue is. So would that work?
Yep. Yeah, so you want to get to the bottom of, yeah, sure. You want to find out what they're arguing about. You want to find out why, what brought them here, and what a resolution could be, essentially.
Right. Yeah. So I
Okay.
want to, arbitrate to try to figure out a way past this.
And which skill were you leaning on? You said rumor?
Rumor. Yeah, because it seems to be the information gathering and just the general sucking up and being nice to people to gather thoughts and ideas and that sort.
What about you, Kozel? What did you want to do or accomplish or use?
I think we were going with charm.
You're a charming fellow.
Very
Is there anything
charming.
you want to add to what Sandow is looking to gain? Because think about it as a conversation. Like you'll jump in. Like Sandal asks something, he'll get some information. You'll jump in and you'll be charming and you'll get a little bit more information, sort of thing.
I think knowing just the dynamics of our group and like traveling with them, I'll probably just like everyone be cool, but I'll know that I'm like way over my head with this, so I'll just kind of back up Sandow. I just kind of
Okay.
parrot him in charming and
Sure.
cool ways.
You step back and just assist the master at social.
Wait, are you my yes man?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like,
Your pharmacist and yes man.
you know, people just talk so fast nowadays.
And Blort, you're there.
Well, I don't want to rerun the whole like situation leading up to this, but I also did have to step away from my laptop for a second, so I did not hear exactly what the
So
cause of this social encounter is.
the groom and the father of the bride are arguing. The father of the bride is very intoxicated. He's screaming at Maximilian that he did not deliver on the dowry, and that he was not to be trusted, and people told him not to, and he could have married his daughter off to other successful businessmen.
I guess then I would be using guile to like explain to him that earthly goods are of no relevance in such a treacherous and a self-defeating moral gray zone that is the plane in which we inhabit.
Sure.
So it doesn't really matter, much like every single other thing that exists.
Yeah.
That was my go-to thought too.
So what we're going to do now is you're going to roll the skill that you've selected, but there's going to be pluses and negatives to your rolls based off your social class and other contributing factors. These guys are both treated as burgers, which
then I would consume them.
because you are a burger and so is Kozil.
That's incorrect. I'm a commoner or peasant.
Oh, so you're below him.
Yeah,
But
I'm lowborn or low class, whatever
Yeah.
it is.
The three of us are all lowborn, or we're the same. And then our
aren't
buddies.
you? I'm just going to take a look at your character sheets here. Yeah, your social class though is burger.
I don't think that's right. I think that's just the blank.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
social class is. I don't think.
Lowborn.
Yeah.
Blort is a lowborn. He's got his filled in.
I was lowborn as well.
Okay, so you're lowborns. Okay, that makes it a little bit more difficult for you. So I'm just tabulating here.
Caltabulating.
This episode brought to you by Caltabulating.
You remember when you did math in the past? Now you can do it again with the Caltabulator. Brought to you by Hasbro Games, TM.
Blart and Kozel, you're going to be rolling your given skill that you selected at a minus 20.
So is a hard.
Would I select like the hard or arduous or whatever it is, and then just roll regular?
Correct. We're not sponsored by Hasbro, by the way. Yeah, thank you for that, Stephen.
Trying to keep us out of trouble there.
Zhaozem Stan and Notorious DMG has no affiliation whatsoever to Hasbro.
Hasbro does have affiliation with the End of All Things, though, which is sort of my deal as a character.
Okay. Sandow, I'm going to get you to roll, and you are going to be doing yours, though, at a plus 20.
Sure.
So, Kozel and Blort, you guys are jumping in there, and you're trying to say things, and you're getting tongue-tied, and yeah, you're unsuccessful. All of you are unsuccessful. The heavily intoxicated father-in-law is just like, who are these fools? I didn't invite them. Get out of my face. You're just as bad as this bum. You don't get out of here. And he just kind of
This isn't even your wedding.
It's my daughter's wedding. I gave her to this bum, and he can't even deliver on the bride token. And then he stumbles past and pushes his way past you guys and walks away.
Well, turn to the other man that's standing here and say, well, it is a serious accusation, as this was a business arrangement. What seems to be the problem?
He looks embarrassed, and he goes, let me. Are any of you learned men, academics?
Blort laughs out loud.
You are an academic, aren't you?
I don't think
No.
so. I
No,
don't
you're
think
not. None of you.
any one of us is. That's why he would be laughing.
Hey,
Well, it
man.
depends upon what field of knowledge you were asking about. I mean, I learned quite a bit from my family in the running of businesses, if that may be of some use to you.
Well, let me ask you this: if a bride token is not delivered that was promised upon, does it nullify the marriage?
Well, it is an agreement.
Yeah, man. You gotta keep your promises and stuff.
Is there something keeping you from making your promises?
Well, I had a shipment of hemp was to be sent here from my nearby village of Vorburg, and it left a couple days ago, but it hasn't arrived. And well, Franz here, he feels that I've cheated him and now stolen his bride, and I'm not going to produce the hemp that I promised him.
Well, you intend to make good on the bargain, yes?
I do. I'll tell you what. Look at this. Waldo's still off drinking, right?
Yeah, I'm drinking.
Where's Waldo?
He got
I ask you this.
He's about to be
Franz.
under the table.
Franz charged away. This is Maximilian, the groom,
Oh,
who's
shit.
left there.
Well, I say,
Maximilian was the one who was with his arms around you and welcoming you and
yeah.
drinks. This is the guy who likes.
Maximilian, let me ask you this question. If you put all of your intentions in one hand and I would say pound of dung in the other, what do you feel deeper inside your soul?
Oh, that's a wise question. I don't know. I have to take that away.
No, you must be good upon your agreement. So, I just gotta
Yes.
put an arm around him. Actually, I gotta kind of stoop down for that.
Yeah.
What can we do to help? Have you sent men to track down the shipment?
I haven't. So, my bride and I will travel back to Vorburg tomorrow. We have some men that I've hired to accompany us, but I'd be willing to pay you guys to come with us and perhaps take a closer look into this. With the sum of 35 brass pennies a day be of interest to you?
That would quadruple my current net worth.
Yeah,
So
man.
I accept your proposal.
That's a
I
lot of money,
require
man.
no details.
Okay, well, that's great. Thank you so much for agreeing. We'll leave first thing in the morning, and we'll see if there's any signs of what happened to the shipment of hemp that was supposed to arrive here a few days ago. I appreciate
always signs, I whisper to him.
he
When
doesn't.
cooler heads prevail in the morning and our friend's head is not quite so soaked in ale, perhaps it would be fitting to send a message to him that you do intend to fulfill your end of the bargain and have taken steps by hiring men to do so. It may go a long way to placate him.
Yes. So I definitely want to keep my father-in-law happy. Speaking of which, have you seen my bride?
Yeah, man. Did you know she's pregnant?
Yes, with my child.
That's
It is truly a shame that you would bring another being into this tarnished world.
Hey, man. Babies are awesome. They
That
got
is
everything
true.
figured out.
Yes, we've seen her.
Well, here, man. Like, why don't you have this tea to help you calm your nerves and stuff?
The chat. I don't know if you're watching there, Chuck. They has the urge to hand you a beanie
That's fair, man.
because you're hippie.
Yeah, I meant to go for the dude, but I just ended up as that one stoner at Fast Times at Richmond High.
Spicoli?
Is that who he is?
I don't know.
Yeah, dude, I feel
Oh.
like you're gonna offer me a super cheap bag out of the back of a fucking El Camino in a high school parking lot.
Perhaps you should
Yes.
join your wife. Have a
Yeah.
good night, and
goes, "Yeah."
we will, in the morning, take up this quest.
Yeah, he goes when the mention of his wife, he goes, "Yes, it's an excellent idea. I should go search for my bride. Where could she be?" And he starts to wander off. You can all make a standard scrutinize test at that as he wanders away.
We have just recently seen her, right? I mean, it's not like she has been missing for hours.
No, she's was last seen sitting at the head table, like when you guys stepped away. Like that was just moments ago.
Standard scrutinize.
Yeah. Kozel succeeded.
Yeah, man. Like, don't forget your tea too.
Sandow did not.
I matched. I do not know what that means.
That's a crit.
Oh, yeah, it's a crit success. You pick up, and so does Kozel, but especially you, Lord. You see through this man. You go, he does not care for his bride's well-being when he speaks of her. There's no feelings behind his words when he said that. When Sandow suggested he go look for his bride and spend the evening with her, and he jumped at the opportunity, it was hollow words.
I turn to my compatriots and I say, one of the few things that I do believe exists is love. And this man's eyes and words contained none of it when he spoke of his new bride.
Yeah, man. I don't think he likes her too much. That's not cool, man.
Sandow just shakes his head. It was a business proposition, my friends. It was not love for marriage.
That's like sad and stuff, man.
What world do you live in?
Yeah, truly, Kozel, what do you truly believe matters at all?
I live in the forest, man. Like nature matters and like fucking like birds love the sky, man. And like
And the roots will
fish.
continue to split the soil, and the waves will continue to break the rocks into sand, regardless of this woman's emotions or this man's business dealings.
Man, like you're a real bummer.
My my chaotic emotion is melancholy.
It's true. It is. So was somebody else's. Somebody rolled the exact same as you.
Oh shit, I should be playing mine different. Mine's melancholy as well.
Yeah,
I'm
man,
exclusion, which is why
you
I'm
need to
not
get
low.
right down here with me, Kozel. You need to be down here in these lower ranges talking about how the void will consume the souls of all men.
Yeah, man. Life's just such a bummer, and like that's how it goes sometimes.
I have literally been saying that since my inception on this cursed plane.
Yeah, man. Inception and stuff, man.
Born in the womb with a Sylvia Plath book.
Oh my god, thank you for
Oh, all right. So you guys sit there waxing poetic with one another, and you eventually make your way back to the tables, and the party's starting to wind down. People are stumbling away back home, passing out in the streets, finding a stable to go fall asleep in. You do see the father of the bride still furiously stomping about and drinking like mad.
Why do you think that guy is so angry, guys? Do
Oh,
you
yeah, he
not
came back
know
to
there's
Wal-
free ale?
You guys came back to Waldo, who was just
I think we
juiced at the
still
table.
know exactly why he is upset.
Blort. I like grab a tankard of ale from a servant nearby. Perhaps if you would infuse this with some of your medicines and hand it to the man, it will calm him for the night.
I keep saying it's not medicine. If you want medicine, you chop it off.
I got some
your
medicine,
fungal
man.
friends.
Yeah, man.
added
Like,
to-
wait, who has
are you-
mushrooms?
I think I'm being confused. Who has the mushrooms?
I got the
Kozel.
mushrooms. Yeah.
Kozel. All right, so I'm handing the brew to Kozel. perhaps some of your fungal infusion here.
Hey, man, you got it. And I'll pull out another cap and some
Yes.
dried dandelion and grind it up in my hand and then pour it into the water.
All right. Yeah, so pour it into the beer. I'll grab another beer. So I'll walk towards the man, 2 beers in hand,
Right.
offer him one, the one with the mushrooms.
Yeah, he's very intoxicated. He squints and he goes, "Oh, you're one of Maximilian's thugs. Get out of here."
Maximilian intends to make good on his deal, his promise. Here, let us drink
Why don't
to
you,
the ending of the deal in a good manner to all of you.
Yeah, go ahead and make me an easy charm, and you get a plus on that, don't you? Because he's
Oh,
lower
yes.
class than
Yeah.
you. So put that in the modifier. It won't change this time. So easy, and then give yourself the plus 20 or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
101. All right. So he licks his lips and he goes, is that some Maximilian's good stuff?
The best?
Okay. And he snatches it out of your hand and just downs it, wipes his mouth on his arm. Yeah, you're all right for one of Maximilian's friends.
Indeed. Tomorrow we will try and retrieve the dowry for you.
Oh, you're gonna get my hemp. Oh, very good, very good. I'll tell you what. Will you be interested in making some money on the side?
Well, perhaps for my retinue. What did you have in mind?
I want you to go back to that village that he lives there in, and why don't you find out what's going on with his business, and just do a little search around town there for me, and report back. And there'll be some brass in it for you.
Well, I don't see why the father of the bride shouldn't know about her new husband's businesses. Seems
Right.
legit
Yeah,
to me,
yeah.
right.
Exactly. Yeah. I
Just
do
kind of
like
nodding and agreeing here with him. I'm
Okay.
sure I can manage to do such a thing. Have a good night. Give him a good hearty clap on the back.
Yeah. He
Make
kind
sure
of
he
falls-
finishes his beer.
falls over onto the table and gets back up and shakes it off and finishes his beer.
Okay, yeah, head back to the other guys. Say, interesting. He seems to want to know about his new son's businesses. You would think they would have hammered that out beforehand.
You'd think so, man. Like,
Well, if he had other merchants vying for the hand of his daughter, surely he would have done some research on his own. Interesting. Very interesting.
yeah, man. Like, he should have done his homework and stuff.
Who is he again?
I
Well,
see
look,
it is long since time for us to retire. Come,
Well-
I've secured us lodgings. I asked for the free rooms this time.
Yes. Waldo sees like 7 of you standing in front of him.
So which Sandow's paying for me tonight?
The one on the left,
one
man.
in the middle, friend. The
Oh.
one in the middle.
And I just walk right up to someone next to him, an imaginary Sandow next to him.
Yeah. So you guys head back to the tavern. You call it a night. Like I said, the town or the village. It's not really a town. A village, hamlet. It's just a tiny little blip on the map. It's winding down. Place like this doesn't normally see a party of this magnitude very often. So people definitely went all out, and folks are passed out. People are still drinking here and there, but for the most part, they've called it a night. So you guys do as well, and you turn in for the evening. It's roughly I'd say 1 in the morning at this point. By the time you guys decide to head to bed, the next morning, relatively early, you get a bang on your door, and someone shouted, "Get up! It's time to go. We're leaving.
Ah, keep it down.
Get up! It's Maximilian's wagon is setting out. He said he hired you bunch of goons to accompany us. Let's go."
Sandow would have been well ready. He gets up very early to clean his nice clothing and to properly press the collars. And
Kozel's getting up there on age, so he only needs like 4 hours of sleep a night.
His
So-
ear hair scratches against the pillow, so he can't sleep any longer.
Yeah, like he's been up for a while too.
Yeah.
I wipe the drool off. All right, we're going somewhere.
We're going to Vorberg. This is what you got hired
Vorberg.
for. You see that someone's talking to the door. He goes, "Open the door, damn it."
I'll go open the door and open it like, man, you need to like relax.
You see a very oh, that's not him. Impatient man standing there, human. He looks like he's seen battle in his days, and he's wearing plate armor, and he's got a sword at his side. He goes, "Hurry up and get ready. The coach is leaving as soon as you get out there."
yeah, I've already packed. I've got my valise and my instrument. I look down on him and say, I'm ready. I'm sure they will be shortly behind.
Fine, let's go. Listen, I'm in charge of security, so we'll get things set up when you all get out there.
Security, huh?
Ah,
Tell me, how treacherous are the roads we are to travel?
there's been rumor of mutants around here. It can't be too safe.
Like turtles and stuff, man.
Strange aberrations. I suppose there could be turtle men. I don't know.
Okay, man. I'll have my pack and stuff ready to go, and I'll double check that I've got my, my pouch of, tea accoutrement, and and then I'm ready to roll out as well.
I'll gather up my gear that's probably still on me from me passing out last night.
Right, yeah.
Get my bone saw out from under the cushion wherever it fell.
And Blort was probably already up doing his prayers or whatever he does.
So
Blort
hopefully
came-
those mushrooms would have kept the guy from getting up to any mischief last night, which was
Yeah, old Franz. Yeah, I guess we'll see if Franz got up to anything last night.
hopefully to lots of hallucinations.
Yeah, right.
Man. They
And then
like,
he's still sleeping them off.
yeah, they help you really put things in perspective, man.
So you guys head outside, and right outside the tavern is a coach. It looks like a rented coach, and the man who banged at your door and said he was in charge of security is standing there, along with Maximilian. Maximilian holds out his arm. Oh, I'm so happy you accepted to join us. Yes, I don't know if you've heard, but there's been rumor of mutants around here, but we can't put much stock in there. Hopefully, we find what happened to my shipment of hemp, and all will be well. And you gentlemen can head on with your adventures across the countryside. This here, and he points to the man that woke you up, is Andre. Andre is the head of security. He's my right hand man, and he turns and points to 3 other men, and he goes, "These are some cell swords that travel with Andre. They're under his employ." And you see one of them is one guy. Looks like he's really hungover from the night before. One of the cell swords. There's another. He looks like he's in his early 30s, and he looks like he's just ready for business. This one fellow, and then there's one real young looking fellow, and his gear's all shined up, and it looks new, and his weapon is sitting properly at his side, and everything is just how it should be, and he looks like he's just ready for action. He's anxious to get in there. And then sitting at the seat of the coach, you see this like old elderly gargoyle-esque gloomy looking human who will be driving the coach itself. And you can see through the doors of the coach, you can see the bride, and you can see another woman or another female in there with her as well. And Maximilian says, we must head out. We shan't take too long going. It's about a day's travel to Vorberg, so we leave now, and we'll be there by late afternoon. Do you have horses to travel alongside us?
I thought we negotiated last night for horses to be supplied.
No, that He looks at you. I don't believe you were there.
Man, I don't have horses,
Right.
man. Like, they're meant to be like wild and free and like run around. That'd be really uncool, man. Yeah.
I'm afraid I only hire coaches myself.
He shakes his head and he goes, "Oh, okay. Well, one of you could ride with me, I guess." Maximilian's on a horse. He's not riding with his bride and the girl in the coach, which you find kind of strange. Um, one of you could ride with me on my horse, I guess, and well, there's room for one more in the coach with the ladies.
Dibs.
One of you, I guess, could ride a blunderbuss up there with old Ernest, and he points at the coach driver.
I will take that seat.
And Andre, come here. He calls over the well-seasoned sellsword who woke you up in the morning. Goes, these gentlemen don't have horses. We need some way to transport them. Otherwise, this will take days. And Andre just kind of sighs and, fine, I'll take one with me on my horse. Which one will it be?
Not me, man. You were rude. I'll ride in the carriage.
I think Waldo's already in the carriage. And
Yeah, I
Sandow
called dibs.
said he's riding up a shotgun or blunderbuss as they call it in this on the coach.
All right, then I'll ride with the guy who had the birthday party last night.
All right.
I'll walk over to Maxwell.
Yeah. All right, Maximilian.
Yeah.
You should call Maxwell though. That's even better. Hey, Maxwell, I'm gonna ride with you.
Let's go, Maxwell. We got things to do.
Blort, that leaves you with the old crusty sellsword. I think we lost Seth though. Oh, I see that he's returned. No. He's in the Discord chat, but we haven't heard from him in a long time. And we know
It's his Alaska internet there.
yeah, he's got the sketchy Alaskan internet.
Sarah Palin must have gotten him.
No,
No more of those jokes.
We're gonna
Oh.
avoid the Sailor Palin jokes for a week.
Okay. We'll go back. It was just bears then. No more
Yeah,
Palin.
Bears, moose, bears, those are all fair game.
They got Kodiaks up there, man. Those things are deadly.
Okay. All right. Well, either way, Blort gets to ride with the cranky dude.
They're a good match.
Oh, nice. Hey, Jolly's here. Hey, Jollies. I didn't see you sooner. Just in time for the shroom talk. That's hilarious.
So
Yes.
hello, ladies. Yes, I will be joining you. No, we will not be talking. I need to nap.
So yes, the the very pregnant bride is in there, Helena, along with another girl. She goes, "Oh," the bride goes, "Hello," and she holds out her hand. She's kind of meek and she goes, my name is Helena, and this is my friend Bibi. She's going to be accompanying me to Vorberg." And she's Helena's very shy.
You're not a very good listener, are you?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Bibi, on the other hand, now she heard me the first time.
Bibi looks very unimpressed with you.
Well, I look unimpressed with her.
Yes. Yes. But she muddles under her breath. She goes, "This is the kind of company your new husband keeps." I knew this was a bad idea. And then she kind of stops herself and looks away.
Oh, hey, are you the one that got married last night? Man, that was a killer party. Great job. Nice. Who planned it?
Baby goes, "Shut up, you idiot. Sleep it off."
Well, that was rude.
She
What'd
is
I
kind of
ever
rude.
do to you?
She is kind of rude, old BB.
Fine, I'm gonna take a nap. We're not talking anymore.
Yes, so Sandow, you get up on the coach there at the old gargoyle, and Blort, are you back? No? No, okay. And Kozel, you're with Maximilian. So you guys set out on your journey down the road. It is a well-traveled path that you're traveling on between these two inhabited places. I don't want to say villages. These two towns, villages, whatever you will call them. You can tell that this is very, very well used. It's a highway sorts. It's very wide, well traveled. You do encounter the odd coach, the odd farmer with a wagon hauling things along the way. Everything seems to be pretty much typical as you would expect on a road such as this. Kozo, you're with Maximilian, right?
Yep.
He's more than happily regaling you with stories of how he made his money, how he became a businessman in his village, building up his hemp empire. It's been handed down generation after generation. He's very proud of this and how he's making a name for himself now. But he does express concern about the missing bride token that was to arrive a couple days ago.
All the hemp man?
He goes, yeah. He goes, my trusted bailiff Heinrich. He was supposed to deliver it, but I'm quite concerned for his well-being.
Do you think he got killed or do you think he stole it?
Heinrich would never do that. He's my most trusted man. Go ahead and make me a standard scrutinized test.
Ooh, I rolled high.
You did. So you're like, oh yeah, you're like, I can't read this guy. I've been eating mushrooms all morning. I don't know. He just keeps nattering about business. I know nothing about business. Let's
Right,
talk
man.
about the trees, man. And
He
the
keeps
plants
talking
and the
about hemp.
flowers.
Yeah, he keeps talking about hemp, but not in a good way, man.
Yeah, you're pointing out like trees and stuff as you're hey, hey, I haven't seen that strain of whatever in so long. You should be blessed that you have these trees growing out here. I'm sure it attracts this type of fungus and
Right, man. Like, look at that lichen there, man. Like, it is lush.
yeah. So you guys continue on, and at about lunchtime, Andre, the sellsword, who's taken up the lead, he holds up his hand and he says to stop for a bite to eat, and he kind of scouts out the area and finds a spot that he's pleased with to set up camp. And so the coach pulls over, and the women get out, and the other sellswords get off their horses and start to make a small lunch. Um, and Maximilian continues on about how he's concerned about the hemp, and he put his best man on it. He just cannot understand. And he goes, he turns to you, Kozel, and Sandow. He goes, I don't know what I'm gonna do to change my new father-in-law's mind. I'll tell you what. I'd be more than happy to double what I was gonna pay you if you just, when this is done, you accompany us, but you just make your way back to France and just tell them that something happened to it. What do you think to the hemp? And we just make it go away.
We
Man,
could
Well,
simply
that's certainly-
strike him down with great prejudice.
And more than anything, just do this all in a favorable light for me. Build me up to old Franz. What do you say?
man, you want me to lie, man?
Oh, what? No. And he's taken aback. No, I never said that. No. Forget about it. Helena, come here, please. Join us for some food. And he's kind of like shocked and embarrassed.
We kind of get the idea that he already knows what happened to his shipment of hemp.
Yeah. So while you guys are eating, Andre takes off on his horse and disappears for a bit. And he makes his way back, and he reports in that he was just kind of scouting and didn't see too much up ahead.
Did he take
With-
Blort with him?
If Blort wanted to go with him,
Oh, I guess you said we stopped for lunch. Okay.
we did stop for lunch. Blort, you are, now that you're back, Blort, you are riding with Andre, the gentleman who woke you up in the morning. The lead sellsword. He is scouting the road for all of you. Are you back, Blort? Did we lose you again?
He said he was
No,
back.
I'm back.
Oh,
Yes. Okay. Good stuff. So you guys are free to engage with the folks there if you want. If not, we'll pack up and continue on down the highway. We're almost at the end of our session here, so
Actually, really quick.
yeah.
So Andre is the only one that's been in his employ, because you said the other ones were sellswords that Andre has hired. But so
Yes.
Andre's the
exact-
only one that's been in this guy's employ for a while.
Correct. Even the coachman is a hired coach.
Okay.
So
If it is possible to get Andre away from our host here, I'd like to have a little word with him to find out how steady his lord's finances have been.
right. Okay. Yeah. Why don't you go ahead and make me a
Well, let me tell. So the way I'm going about it is making overtures like, you seem to do a very good job. You seem, the scouting. I'm very impressed with that. My family might have need of such a man as yourself. How is your current employer treating you? Try to build up that someone of a higher station might be looking to employ him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead and just make me a standard bluff. Not bluff. I'm sorry, charm roll.
I'm sorry, I missed that. What was
A
that?
standard charm. Sorry,
Standard
I
charm.
said bluff at first. I don't know why I told you to do bluff.
Sorry, coming.
No, that's okay.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. He goes, I've worked for Maximilian for many years. I've served his family. He's a good man. I trust Maximilian. I don't trust some of the others he keeps surrounds himself with. If that's what you're curious about.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, he's got this one guy he puts all of his trust in, Heinrich Truman. He's very unprofessional to his employees, and I don't respect the man. But I especially think very little of him, or even less of him, when I caught him beating his young son Dieter. These are the two that were tasked with bringing the hemp here. These two are fools. They can't be trusted.
So they've gone missing with the hemp then?
As far as I know.
I
Hopefully we'll
am
find a
very
sign of them.
skeptical of this man's explanation here, and how would I go about attempting to signal to Sandow that I need to have a little guru moment with him, but
Have a guru-
discreetly.
I don't know.
I don't know. I think we've been traveling together long
Yeah,
enough that we
I'm not
might
gonna
have
make-
figured out some hand gestures. I mean,
Yeah,
part of
I just-
entertainment.
I'm
Start
giving you those
school
eyes,
duck
coughing.
that are me eyeing you, like I'm saying, "Hey, come over here, please." Without
Yeah,
them, please.
yeah, he picks up on that.
All right. Well, let's engage that way then.
I say, oftentimes, a man who gives this much information this freely does not know many things that are important to those who know him. Did you hear me, or are you just being coy?
I'm sorry, guys. My wife was asking me a question right
Oh.
while you were talking.
Once again, Blort.
Oh, I said, generally, in my experience, men who are this free with their wisdom do not know many things that the people who know them hold dearly, if you know what I'm saying.
That is possible, yes. However, being in the employ of this man for so long, I think that he does know his temperament well enough, and there seems to be a change in that temperament. So maybe this new relation has caused a change of fortune.
I just think that perhaps this man has a personal grudge against the one called Heinrich and wishes us to slay him in his own name.
It's possible, although it seems that Heinrich is missing currently, as he was with the shipment of him. Someone else may have already done the slaying.
Well, perhaps he just wants us to make sure. I was just saying this man, he has many honeyed words, but his thoughts seem to be of mud, and that is all I am saying.
Agreed.
Here.
Here.
Always enjoy your counsel.
I just whip my back and walk away.
I love it. Okay. So yeah, you pull them aside. You guys have a little conversation. You head back, and you head back on the road for the next leg of the journey.
That sounds good.
Yeah,
Same
man.
Enjoying the
positions,
carriage
or
ride.
should we trade out this time?
Yeah, do you guys want to switch who you're
Actually,
riding with?
yes.
Or do you wanna-
I do want to switch because I want to be in the carriage with the women and try and get some information from them.
Oh, come on. I was getting a good nap in, and you know how this air messes with my sinuses. I need to be indoors.
It's very cramped in there for you, Sandow.
Yeah, and you're just so big, and let's be honest,
Of
these women are
course.
on the plump side. She's pregnant, like I'm a small person. I fit better.
Hey,
Blort
man.
loves your reasoning.
You could ride with Maxwell here, man. He knows shit.
I'm pretty sure Maxwell's horse would not enjoy that. I guess it is back to the top of the carriage with me.
All right.
I wasn't given the option previously because I was away from my
The-
keyboard, but there is just a rope tied to the back of this wagon, and that
Oh.
rope is tied around my chest, and I'm just being dragged along.
You were on the horse with Andre. That was
I have no more desire to speak to this man, and I will perform my flagellation most creatively in this evening.
Oh my goodness. Self-flagellation.
I just
like
have
it-
a completely stoic, neutral face, just being drug along the dirt road, just flopping around, just completely unemotional.
Behind the wagon?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. All right, so we continue on. So nobody is riding with Andre then, correct?
No, man. That guy's a jerk.
So you guys set off for the next leg of the journey. Oh, that's hilarious. And you continue on for a few more hours. And after a couple hours, all of a sudden you see Andre racing back on his horse towards the cart because he's been up ahead scouting. And he holds up his arms and goes, "Halt! Halt! Halt! We must pull aside." And the wagon pulls over, and Andre motions Maxwell over, and the cell swords.
You guys look back, and fucking Blort is just gone. The rope was severed during the travel.
You're just lying in the road, moaning.
Somewhere miles back, I'm just in a ditch. This is what I deserve.
Pulls him aside, pulls the cell swords, Maximilian over. They're trying to stay away from the women and the rest of you, and they are speaking in hushed tones. And let's end it there.
All right.
Oh shit! Some intrigue.
Because we're
Cliffhanger,
at-
man.
We're at the 2-hour mark, so we'll stop and we'll pick it up next week at same DMG time, same DMG place.
Next week, I will try not to be having a weirdly, work-based evening. Normally, my work ends at 4:30, and will not be on the phone with anybody after that. Next Thursday, I promise.
Sounds good. Thank you, everybody who tuned in and watched us live and commented and played along. We appreciate it. I had fun. I had fun running some Zweihander for you guys, and hopefully you guys had fun as well playing.
I did.
Yeah, this was good.
Yeah, good stuff.
This is a very good game.
It's very freeform. I like that.
It is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when you told me that like I could just kind of eye motion with no checks or rolls or any mechanics whatsoever, I felt my shoulders like relax a little about the entire experience.
Good. I'm glad.
This is
I'm
the guy
glad.
that loves 3rd edition.
Yeah, I know, right?
Right.
Well, I've also been reading Lancer, and like the way that
Oh.
game works, it's like very I don't need to get into it. It's not we don't need to do a whole breakdown of Lancer, but there's a lot of like very narratively driven things like that where it's just like, yeah, you succeed, it happens, it did happen, whatever, and that kind of shit sounds pretty fucking cool, honestly.
It does.
You're
All
going to be leaving 3rd edition soon.
Welcome to the dark side.
Yes, I was gonna say
Nice.
we need
Yeah,
to
dude, now I'm
talk.
just gonna start getting real deep into this fucking everything about this now. I'm gonna have to read through all of this book again and just anyway, you gentlemen are outstanding, and I
Have-
enjoy doing this, and next time I will enjoy more of it because I'll be present for more of it.